What's up, YouTube? It's Jeff Tuffin here with the Glorious Podcast, episode 14, Battleground review. Battleground, the worst pay-per-view of the year, in my opinion. I mean, it's got a lot of competition for that worst pay-per-view of the year, but my God, was that show, it was just awful last night. I am lucky that I kind of didn't really have to watch. I was kind of busy during the beginning of the show. So, yeah, I kind of lucked out there not having to watch. And from what I heard on Twitter, it was awful. I heard it started good. I went back and watched some of the highlights and stuff. I didn't feel like going back. From what I heard, I just didn't feel like going back and watching it. It didn't seem like it was worth it. But the New Day win the titles to open the show. I heard that match was actually good. And then I kind of went downhill from there. Shinsuke Nakamura and Baron Corbin ended, no disqualification. So Shinsuke picks up the win. Corbin comes out looking strong. I guess it's a way they didn't want to make anyone look weak in that match there. I heard the match was kind of slow from a lot of people. I don't know. I saw parts of it. I heard this match was just weird. The women's match, the Fatal 5-Way elimination match. Natalya picks up the win. Like, what? Natalya versus Naomi at SummerSlam for the SmackDown Women's Championship? I mean, unless this surprises me and they actually do something here. I mean, does anybody really want to see this? Because I honestly could care less to even watch that match. Right now, I can't. Come back to me in a month when we're sitting here getting ready for SummerSlam. I could have a completely different opinion on it. It could change. AJ Styles and Kevin Owens, U.S. title. Kevin Owens picks up the win, takes the title back. What the hell is happening here? Why are there so many title changes on the show, I'm wondering. Right before SummerSlam, I'm surprised that I'm seeing, all these titles change hands. I really thought the Usos would retain and Styles would retain, but I guess not. I guess that makes it really look like that the only reason they put the U.S. title on Styles was just for that MSG show, for the the crowd that came out, everyone, I guess that makes this pretty much just shows that that's what that was all about. I did see. This is when I kind of really started watching the show. Toward the end, it was John Cena and Rusev, the flag match. And let me just start off by saying, flag match, it might be the worst stipulation in WWE history. I'm going to have to do a little research, find out maybe there is more stipulations that can be considered worse than a flag match. But, I mean, the rules of a flag match are just so stupid. Who came up with this stuff? I mean, the idea of the match is to grab the flag from each one of the corners of the ring, whatever, your respective flag, take it down to the stage, end of the stage, and then place it there. What? I thought the rules would. I think it would be better if you just took the flag. Whoever got their flag down first wins the match. And I could have sworn that's what the rules used to be of this match. I don't remember much of flag matches. They said there was one like 2 years or 3 years ago or whatever. I really don't remember how it goes, and it's rare for a reason because it sucks. And then just the idea of the match. And it was also one of the most scripted matches I've ever seen. I mean, they couldn't make this more scripted. I mean, the end there when Rusev's about to place the flag down in the thing, and then Cena just gets right up there right at that moment. It's just like, could you make it any more scripted? Like, it just couldn't be. And, as soon as those tables were set up over by the other side of the stage, I knew right away, like, even though it didn't happen until about 10 minutes after it, I knew that it was going to end with Cena putting Rusev through both those tables with an attitude adjustment, and then that would result in Cena winning the match. And of course, that's how it went. Everything about this was probably the worst part of the night, in my opinion. I didn't see much from the beginning. Maybe there was worse, but this, from what I saw, was just awful. Awful. The match itself was decent, but just the stipulation, the fact that it just seems so scripted, and Cena winning like this, if they would have Rusev win here, talk about a smart move by WWE. I'd be praising them big time on this. This would have changed my whole the view of the show if Rusev would have won this match. He would have won. He would have got so much heat, winning in the birthplace of America, Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Picks up the win. Nobody would have expected it. It would have shocked everybody. It should have been great for Rusev, but of course they got to put John Cena over, as always. I mean, John Cena is still out here in 2017 burying younger talent. Breeze Dango attacked backstage. What the hell is going on with this? I thought we were supposed to find out who the hell was attacking him at the show, at Battleground. They were building it up for weeks and weeks, and then we were going to find out on Battleground who it was. They were going to reveal themselves. And then they just held it off again until whenever. So WWE, I could have sworn on SmackDown they even said, like, we'd find out Sunday at Battleground who it was, and then Sunday comes and it just continues the storyline or whatever, and we don't know who it is. It's like they ran out of time. I think that's what it is. I think what happened was, because this show still didn't get over until like after 11. For a SmackDown pay-per-view to get over after 11 o'clock is rare. I mean, the single branded pay-per-views just in general usually get over around like 10:45, 10:50. Even with them cutting down on this and not doing the Breeze Dango, revealing who has been attacking them, they still went over 11 o'clock. But I guess that's why. I guess they just did. I mean, I didn't know they had a time limit. I thought on the network they can go as long as they want. But I guess they just figured whatever. They didn't want to, go too long with it. But I don't know. Like that's just a huge letdown because I was kind of actually looking forward to finding out who it was. Like that was one of the things I was like curious to find out about Battleground. Like who's been attacking Breeze Dango? Who's it gonna be? Someone from NXT? Did someone come over from Raw? Who is it? But they just continue to hold it off. I guess we're gonna have to wait until SmackDown or whenever to find out who. Sami Zayn and Mike Canal have a match. Sami Zayn wins. I don't know. They had a match on SmackDown. Mike Canales picked up the win there. Sami gets one back. I don't know what's going on here. Just, I don't know. Solid match. And then the match everybody was talking about, the hyped up match, the most important part of the show, the Punjabi prison match. Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton. And the rumors started to come out at the beginning of the day Sunday about the Great Khali possibly appearing, and I was like, please don't be true. And they ended up being true. The Great Khali shows up. Let's just hope that this was a like one and done thing with Great Khali. I've already heard some rumors that it's just making me lose my mind that it's gonna be Randy Orton versus not Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton versus the Great Khali at SummerSlam. Please no, please do not make that happen. I don't know if Great Khali's back as like full time or he's just back part time. This was just a one time thing, but he comes out. He cost Orton the match. Jinder Mahal retains the title. 3 wins over Orton now. They better be going their separate ways. I mean, but it almost feels like Orton still has unfinished business, though. So it almost seems like they're not done this feud, and just hope they are. Do something different at SummerSlam with both these guys. The match actually was enjoyable. I actually kind of liked it. A little bit long, I'd say, but there was a lot of cool spots and stuff. I feel bad for the people who were at the show. They couldn't see shit. I saw pictures and stuff from people who actually had pretty good seats, and they still could not see shit. That cage, like the fact that it was like 2 layers, it's bad enough when it's like a steel cage or Hell in a Cell, but it was 2 layers, so you weren't seeing anything unless you were watching on like the big screen above or whatever. So I don't know. That was the one reason I actually was thinking about going to this show was the Punjabi prison. Then I started to think about it over time, and I was like, wait a second, I'm not gonna be able to see shit with this stinking cage. I'm not gonna be able to see. I'm better off just watching on the network with the cameras inside the damn thing. Overall, this show, from what I saw, from what I heard, was not good. Worst pay-per-view of the year. I don't know. It's got a lot of competition because ever since WWE started doing almost 2 pay-per-views a month, one for each brand, it really has devalued the pay-per-views. It is hurting the company big time. It's almost like WWE didn't want to have this pay-per-view last night. It seems like they didn't want to have it. It's like they just said, we need to get past this. Let's just get to SummerSlam. Like, they didn't want to have this pay-per-view. It was just so obvious. Just the way it turned out. I had a little hope going into it that it might be good because remember last year, Battleground was not, like, it was really predicted to be one of the worst shows of the year. Somehow, it turned out to be a very good pay-per-view last year. So I had hope that it would be somewhat decent. And, no hope at all, I guess, now because it turned out to be shit. But it seems like they didn't want to have it. I mean, if WWE were smart, they would cut back on the pay-per-views because it just have one pay-per-view a month. Both brands you can still have your big 4: Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam before that. Just have the big 4 pay-per-views, but then just have like one pay-per-view a month, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, just stop having like 2. It just really hurts because just look at the amount of pay-per-views that have just been disappointments this year. The single branded ones. Fastlane, that was a disappointment. Payback was pretty good. Extreme Rules was awful. Backlash was pretty bad. The Great Balls of Fire was good, but that's only good because Vince, it was his pay-per-view. He came up with a name, so he's like, oh, I gotta make this a memorable one. Payback, like I said, that was decent. Elimination Chamber was okay. Money in the Bank was pretty bad, other than the main event. Like, these pay-per-views suck. These single-branded pay-per-views suck. Thank God we don't have one until after SummerSlam. Everything just focus. All eyes are on SummerSlam now, so that's the good news. We could just look forward to that. They'll probably shit the bed with that too, like they always do. Which is better than last year. Last year was awful. But it's just like they didn't want this pay-per-view. Everything about it, just I couldn't get anything. I could really not pull much good out of this pay-per-view last night, and it's a shame, especially the way the shows were last week. I was not happy with Raw and SmackDown last week, and then the pay-per-view just adds on to my disappointment for the current product right now. Let's just hope that tonight on Raw and this week on SmackDown on Tuesday, both shows turn out to be pretty good, and they could just start building towards SummerSlam. That's a lot to ask out of WWE, being that, they usually don't do that. But hey, that's just a little hope. Anyway, guys, that's it for the Battleground review. I gotta get out of here. This pay-per-view sucked. Hopefully the Raw review is much better. Hopefully, somehow, Raw saves me, because this show was awful. SummerSlam's coming up. Let me know what you guys thought of in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description as always. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for the Monday Night Raw review right here on the Glorious Podcast.